I want to welcome everybody to Montreal Tastes Funny, where cuisine and conversation intersect. Today, I get to have a nice conversation over some food with one of my most favorite people, Natacha Filion. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm just here for the food.
Just here for the food?
Will said he was starting a podcast and all I heard was food. That's all I needed to know.
What, you're going to feed me?
Did you say there's food involved in this podcast?
Definitely food. Definitely food. I don't know, some of my conversations with people, I would say over the years, or my best conversations happen to be when you're out eating, enjoying a bite to eat, something to drink, and just conversations go wild. And many times I found myself saying, says, somebody should be recording this. So today we're recording this conversation and cuisine with Natacha Filion. Welcome.
Welcome.
So I will I will ask a question, take a bite, wait for you to finish chewing, and you can answer.
This is the tricky part of having a podcast where there's food involved, like just the chewing process.
So how's your day going? What's going on in your life lately?
What is not going on in my very busy life? Well, we're here at Pub Kuzi, where I run my own comedy show for the past year.
I've been to most of them.
Yes.
Performed on a few.
Yes.
And you've got a great audience, a great crowd, and you've always bring a good people. It's a successful show on the West Island, which does not happen often.
I know, and that's funny because when it started last year, Percy, the owner of the bar, thank you, shout out to Percy, at Pub Kuzi, brought it up. He's like, how about we try a comedy show? And I literally had just 1 month to plan a comedy show, to put just get some comics together. I think Mike Gamache was in the first one. Lucy Gervais was my first headliner.
And getting the community on board, you get a lot of locals come out to your events, which I found it's not normal in the West Island. West Island, often you ask people, where are you from? And they're from downtown. I came from LaSalle. I came from Lachine.
Yep.
West Islanders like to keep their asses in their seats in the living room.
I know. I brought it to St. Anne's, and it's it's just hard. Some people, come on, I brought it to St. Anne's. Do I have to bring the show to your living room?
But you found the reaction positive?
Very positive. It's been ups and downs. I can't say that it's been completely stress-free. It's been a very good learning experience. I feel like the past year has been just one big learning curve for everything.
But positive.
Positive. I work for myself in social media. I just earn an income at all kinds of things that people are like, they pay you for that? Just a content creator.
I usually when I see people list content creator on their LinkedIn page, that means they're unemployed.
Yeah, that's basically it.
So we got to meet each other doing comedy, through comedy, because both of us have done stand-up comedy in our lifetime. Natacha longer than I have, but I guess we met about 10 years ago.
Correct.
And you were getting back into comedy at that time. You've had a on again, off again relationship with comedy. It's one of your most difficult relationships.
It's the most consistent thing in my inconsistent life, and even that hasn't managed to be fully consistent. But it's kind of like I've always looked at it as some kind of mafia business. It's just when I think I was out, they pull me back in, and I've tried to quit comedy forever. So I'm thinking now that it keeps finding me. It's every time I'm unemployed and comedy is that boyfriend that they come, hey, I heard you're single again. What's up? Yeah. So I decided I did an open mic when I started back again for the umpteenth time. But I did it it was December of 2023. I did an open mic, shitty, dead open mic. It was one of those nights where it was maybe one guy, and I brought snowstorm. Yeah. I brought two friends, and but at the end of the night, I was beaming, and I was like, why would I not do something that makes me so ridiculously happy?
Exactly.
And we've always had a good time. Can we say it officially? Will and I never dated.
Never, because Natacha has standards. We become good friends. I don't know. We kind of clicked. I think from the first time I saw you do comedy, your set was probably not your best, but it was just so honest, and you showed a lot about who you were in that set.
I guess I do have that going for me.
You're always real on stage.
It's very vulnerable and chaotic, and just It is what it is. It's probably from the lack of filters. It's just, it makes sense that I do comedy. It's like, what did I say? Shit. So at least it's in a comedy setting. So,
What are things you find that are not funny?
well, I don't find like gratuitous humor funny so much as I don't really like insult. Like there's particular types of comedy that, you have to be really good at it. And I find that people just callously use insult comedy or
For shock
like for
rather
shock
than funny.
value, or
Yeah.
like this whole rise of heckling culture becoming part of comedy, which I don't, it's not for me. I'm not going to write it off as, because, like, there's room for everything, but I wouldn't say that that's not really my style. Like gratuitously mean, or like some people try to pass it off as comedy. Like people, "Hey, that was a joke, man." I'm like, yeah, I'm a comedian. I still don't speak douchebag. So there's a lot of people who try to pass off douchebaggery as comedy, which it is not.
But they find it funny.
They find it
And their
so
bros
funny.
find it funny.
No, man, all my friends, all my bros at the frat house, man. I'm the funniest guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we were talking before as we were waiting for food to get here that comic influences. So
Mm.
you've been doing this for a while, but I don't remember actually. How did you get in? What led you to the first time getting up on stage? I'll ask a longer question so you can finish chewing. Like you were a fan of comedy. I remember you telling me you were a
Mm.
fan of comedy, but you hadn't actually performed.
I think that's what that's what I want to say, is that one thing that we have in common is that we do comedy, but we're both like comedy fans, which is a thing that I have in common with Ollie Smith as well. We're comedians who love comedy.
Oh, absolutely. Even when I was performing on a regular basis, because I'd stopped for a while, I'm coming back into it now. Definitely, I would say I would see shows probably a 10-to-1 ratio versus performing.
Yeah.
So I'd be out there. I could be out there 4 nights a week, sometime catching 2 shows in two different venues, but maybe I was performing once a month, which is not good. Which is not good to improve yourself. Hence, that's why I'm here doing a podcast today.
I fell into comedy quite by accident. It was never, I'm not one of those comedians who grew up wanting to be a comedian. I grew up wanting to be a writer. I grew up wanting to be an actress. Just a whole bunch of comedy is one of those happy accidents.
Happy sometimes, unhappy other times.
Well, the dark part.
It's related. It's creative. You're
Yeah.
right. I mean, to me, some of my favorite comics are like people who are extremely gifted at writing. Some people are physical comics, and I like some of them, and not whatever. But I mean, I like guys like Stephen Wright. His dry
Mm.
sense of humor. All of his talent has to be in like writing a joke.
Well,
Because
you
the
were
way
talking about Mitch Hedberg. Mitch Hedberg, like one-liners, like just
yeah.
went boom, boom.
But you got to listen. Yeah, you have to listen to him. There's intelligence there. He might not have come across looking like he was a scholar, but his writing to me was like fabulous.
You know what I heard? I heard that in order to do comedy, you have to be like extremely intelligent. It's not something you can do if you're dumb. You can play dumb, but
You can be mentally ill too.
yeah, mentally ill,
Mentally
yeah.
ill, and you can be mentally ill and extremely intelligent at the same time.
Just a beautiful mind. Just your average Russell Crowe here. Just like that's what I describe my brain, like my Rain Man brain. I guess that I was like a comedy groupie. And I just started hanging out at the Comedy Nest when in the early 2000s.
I don't consider myself a creative person, so that's something I'm more logical. But I found when I was doing comedy, I I would see things differently, but I guess purposefully. I'd start looking at things differently. Something would happen in front of me, and maybe I was like searching for a joke. Do you like do that?
Yeah. Well, I think that comedy can suit because there's introverted comics, there's extroverted comics, there's people that are more physical. And there's people without logic. Thanks for rubbing it in, the fact that he has logic.
I'm truly jealous of your creativity. I've said to you, no, because I'm a logical person. I don't think creative. I have maybe 15 minutes a day. I consider myself creative, but once my brain gets engaged in doing anything, like I can't write jokes. Maybe I can work on a joke I've started, but I can't come up with a concept. So I'm not creative all day long. So I know I've said to you a couple times, I'd like to live one day in your brain, and
I I wouldn't recommend it. It's not safe.
It's not a safe place to be.
It's probably like it's like when people like follow me. I'm like, I don't think people should follow me because it's like lemmings. We're all gonna walk off a cliff.
I don't think I don't have the right
Ah!
security. I don't have the right security clearance to live in your brain.
Safety precaution. Oh my god, that would be so
The
funny.
CIA is watching us.
Oh god, that would be so funny. Like, okay, before
Maybe.
entering Natasha's brain, please sign this disclaimers. You might not survive. This whole interview is just one big blooper. That's how I feel about it because I do TikTok videos now. I tried TikTok. And I find like everything I do is like, I'm like, that's just a blooper. It's just blooper reels all the time.
Constant blooper reels.
Yeah, my life is a blooper reel.
I want to phrase the question right. So you would describe your life as a series of outtakes.
Yes,
Like,
definitely.
your life is like going to end up on the cutting room floor. You're not ready for prime time.
We can't use that. We can't use any of it. No. That's how I feel. Well,
It's worked out for you.
so far,
You're at a good place.
I'm at a very good place. And, you know, it's people like I've done a lot of work on myself. And I used to think, oh, well, once I do the work on myself, then I'm not going to be funny anymore. Might as well kiss my comedy career. But it made me funnier. So I'm like, well,
Perspective.
plot twist. I would highly recommend it. Comedy should be, it can be therapeutic, but it shouldn't be therapy. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people who feel like, oh, comedy is my therapy. I'm like, yeah, but you should have actual therapy.
Yeah. Maybe
It's not
I've
like
seen
the
your
most-
set. I think you need therapy.
But I didn't really know the world of comedy until Joey Elias invited all of us to the Comedy Works, which no longer exists on Bishop. And that basically was my first introduction to the English Montreal comedy scene.
Okay. I've told most people I probably meet or whatever when they ask, I can never do anything. I can never do comedy. I say I disagree. I think everybody
Mm.
probably can do a 5-minute
Mm.
set. But what continuing comedy, in my mind anyway, I don't know if you agree, is writing. Just keep writing, keep writing, keep writing. Even if you never use it. I mean, I've got a duffel bag full of crap, like will never be a joke. But at
Yeah.
the beginning, I just wrote everything down.
I do by them because of being a writer as well. I have like so many notebooks, like of absolute crap that I don't even want to read. Like it's just like open a notebook and it's pure cringe. But that is part of what makes you grow as a writer, what makes you grow as an artist. You got to get that stuff out.
Yeah.
On paper. I'm a big fan. I mean, whichever notepad or note app. Like some people don't like to use. I still like the longhand. You know, I feel like I'm very romantic when it comes to writing. I like notebooks and
I remember I got
I
in,
romanticize those. I have pens. If people come into my house and I'd be like, you can ask me anything. I feel like two of the questions people would ask, like, what's up with all the pens? What's up with all the notebooks?
no, I've tried writing like on either on my phone or on my laptop or whatever, but I got my yellow pad that I bought and I just sit there and write it. And to me, I just visually I go through my jokes sometimes like a wordsmith because there's ways you can construct a joke that makes it funnier just by swapping out a word here or there. It just hits better with the audience, but I see it better if it's down paper and pen.
Yeah.
Or even as I'm writing it sometimes. No, Lan, I'll just circle it and like put an arrow. I got to bring that word to the front of the bit. So I'm an overthinker, which probably stifles my creativity. I know for sure, but you seem to be it flows out of you.
I digress a lot. Like it's just like you overthink, I digress. It's just like what were we talking about? Like and even like one of my friends had said that I started talking to her and then she's like, where did you go? And I'm like, I guess I got bored with my own conversation and left. Like it's
Well, I remember at the beginning, like going back like 10 years, you, I, and Linda, we'd get together at your place for a supposed joke writing session. There was usually alcohol involved. I don't remember us ever actually writing a joke or even like coming up with an idea for a joke. We were having fun, but I think we probably did like 3 of them and realized like, has anyone written a joke?
Shout out to Linda and Mike Gamash, Weirdos for Life. And now we just have like jam sessions where we don't even pretend like we're going to write anything. Let's just get together and drink and eat.
I enjoy my life. I consider myself to have a good life. Like I'm always looking forward.
Yeah.
life is be happy. I do things now make me happy. I've eliminated people in my life that and you have as well. Like it's like
Oh yeah.
pathway to happiness.
I think that my life
I've
has
quit
got
jobs. I've quit
yeah,
jobs to be happy.
quit jobs and people. I feel so much lighter now. I think because I've had a firm like I'm done with that person or I'm done with that place. Well,
We
taking
seem to have a hard time eliminating people from our lives, especially when it's relatives, people we've known a long time. But once you start doing it, it becomes like really, really easy when you realize this is like the source of your misery. This is the source or a source of your unhappiness. Like why do we hang on to people?
because we think that we grow with these people, and I think that I'm gonna without naming this person.
We all have them.
I'll have them, and the thing is that you keep wanting to see a good person, and sometimes that good person doesn't exist until you finally get the confirmation, and you're like, okay, I can't take this. I can't take any more of this. That being said, I have wonderful, wonderful, amazing. The real wealth is your friends, and I feel like for that
Friends.
friends, I'm very wealthy when it comes to the people in my life. I find that I have, but then you were saying about happy, like once you start becoming really happy and feeling really good, then that becomes non-negotiable.
Yeah. I, I do remember because I had taken Joey Elias's comedy writing workshop, and often a group of us, like 6 or 8 of us, would arrive early at a
Hmm.
little bar next door. We or even before a show, sometimes we
Yeah,
were getting in to see the shows, that we'd sit down and like hash out like new jokes.
yeah.
But
I really like
it's
Joey Elias writing class.
it's an easier way to get on the stage the very first time.
Yeah.
You're much better prepared if that's
Mhm.
something you've always thought about doing. I don't necessarily like separating out men and women that do comedy, but I noticed lately in Montreal, because I'm getting back into doing it myself, we got some amazing women doing comedy. And I could never be physical on stage at all, which something you see, I got a lot of transfer over, and I see a lot of the francophone comics seem to have a little bit more physicality in the
Yeah.
way they move. We have some guys on the English side.
Les Québécois sont très expressifs. Nah.
Yeah, but it works though. Even facial expressions and things like
Yeah. No, but it's true. It's like when when you say something as a Québécois, I find that we get nah, no, ça, pas capable, pantoute. Like we just put the whole face
yeah.
with the words and the
And
yeah,
and a fellow francophone is like not surprised by that, but maybe it's because I'm an anglophone. To me, it's like, oh my god, like that's like over the top. But for you,
yeah.
it's like, no, that's like
No, that's
dinner at
us.
my house on Sunday.
It's kind of like what I always say about French Canadians, and I love my boyfriend's a French Canadian. I can say that. But if complaining was a sport, Québécois would win hands down every single time. We like they find ways to complain about things that you didn't even know you could complain about them.
Yeah,
Like
we were discussing before we started recording about comic influences, not just people that you like or admire or still admire, but people or comics that maybe you moved away from. Like you once like, yeah, I find this guy's really funny, and just
I used to like Dane Cook's humor. I don't anymore.
he's still even doing comedy.
I don't know. I think he's mostly an actor now. I haven't really looked him up. But yeah, it's the comics that I like it's people like my influences. I wouldn't even say that I like Bill Burr. I like Doug Stanhope. I like Mark Maron.
Yeah.
I think I'm an angry man inside.
But I mean, my early influences, I mean, George Carlin, but I'll also readily admit George had some bad years in that. I think his fame and his acceptance, or his audience acceptance was so high, he can get away with crap and still sell albums, because that was
Yeah.
their prime revenue, was like performing. You had the university tours were huge in the United States. You get rich off of those. But I remember a performance, and I was telling someone this only last week. Like if I was going to consume content back in the day, it was like reading the TV guide and find out like who's on here, whatever, from one day to the next. If I saw George Carlin performing, I'd be begging with my parents or my siblings, because
Really?
you only had 2 channels. So I like a 50-50 chance
Oh
maybe that
God.
we are going to be able to watch George Carlin. But I watched this set, and he was announced that he was going to be performing. And this was at like the height of his fame, probably at the height of his drug use as well. And he gets announced, he comes out on stage, and it looked to be like an auditorium setting. He walked out, he stood behind the mic. He shifted from foot to foot, made facial, said nothing For a good 3 minutes went by. The audience is like giggling, laughing uncomfortably, waiting for him to start his set. And he just like turned around and walked off stage, and that was his set. And it was like, and the thing is, who you'd get burnt. I'm trying to find video of it, but there was probably tape back then. It's not out there. But he actually did that at the height of his fame, performed on a show. He was announced as like an artist that was mentioned as being here, and said absolutely nothing on stage for 3 minutes, walked off, and nothing happened to him. Today we have cancel culture. We would have canceled him. But
Yeah.
but I guess he decided he want to push, like, how good am I that I can get away with this? And maybe it was a test, like little kids test their parents.
I think that, if you get to the point where you're like height of your fame, like, the comedy brain, like, how far can I push this? Like, it's just, you just want to see, like, can I get away with this? And would people still, or maybe it's self-deprecating, like, oh, fuck it, I don't want to do this. I've done that. I've walked on stage and be like, I looked at everybody and then turned around. And then I'm like, wouldn't that be great if I just walked off and you guys were just...
I've seen you, actually, the first time I saw you perform, and it was stand-up comedy, but you sat on the stage.
Yes.
There was not a stool or a chair. You just cross-legged sat on the stage because I think you'd given up on your set at that point.
Comic number 13 of this comedy marathon. Everybody had left. There was no point to my life. And I was like, I was motivated maybe 3 hours ago when the show started. Yeah.
So, what would you say? What's the wackiest thing you could possibly think of saying right now?
I firmly believe that comedy is not an art form.
That's not wacky.
It's mental illness. We are not well, but at least it gives us something to do. It's contained insanity.
Okay, say that again because I interrupted you.
No reason.
This is how we speak. This is how Will and I are friends. I don't know how we've managed to hear each other just speaking over each other.
You're a very tolerant person, I'll admit.
Well, it's because I you gotta do things, for in charity and the old people. Be nice to aren't you about to enter your cute phase? Is that what you said? You said, because we send each other videos.
Some put it, as I think it was comic. I think it was Natalie Como, who I love.
Yes.
And she was talking about she can't get mad at her father, even if all the things he did in the past. He's so cute now.
Cute. That's it.
You mentioned earlier, like I officially mentioned, this is Will and I have never dated. Because people have asked you, like, are you and Will going out? And with a confused look on their face. But I've been asked as well, and I always answer them the same way, and I don't correct them. I would tell them, I said, no, I'm part of her court-ordered community service where she has to hang around with senior people. And I leave it with that. I don't correct them. They're probably still believing it. I don't know.
Well, it's weird. It's just like people, we do have a good connection or whatever.
But I
have to say, single ladies, I would be a very lucky girl. Because this guy, like, the only real joke I can come up, like, you have the sex appeal of a good dad, which is actually not a bad thing.
Especially if you live in Arkansas.
Do you want your eye roll now or later?
Well, I think it would probably be unlikely we would have become friends had it not been for comedy.
That's true.
We probably could have been neighbors and never looked at each other.
Comedy makes unlikely friends.
Well, it crosses a divide. Like we have obviously an age difference, a gender difference. I have kids almost as old as you. Mm-hmm. I'm a grandfather now. My life has been different. I'm a logical person. You're a creative person, but I don't know. It seemed to work.
But we relate on comedy and Thanksgiving. Actually, it is Thanksgiving. I was invited. That's probably why people think we dated, because I showed up at your daughter's weddings.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm a Thanksgiving guest. Actually, I'm available for all and any Thanksgiving feast if you want to. I love the food. I don't know. I provide some jokes.
Just go to Natacha Filion .iCandy.com.
Oh.
Well,
I feel like I was switching. Like, it's like, okay, now this is the interview portion for Will, where I ask you about food, and I can just if somebody's talking about food, this is me. I actually watch food reels while watching the Food Network, and then Stefan just looks like are you ever gonna cook
You're
anything?
eating
Or
craft dinner, watching gourmet cooking.
but no, actually, I've learned a
You're
few
like, I gotta go
things.
put
Like,
some Parmesan on my craft dinner.
follow me for more food tips. But yeah, I'm actually like, like everybody does that. Like they do something and they're like, I gotta do a little bit of salt, guy. Like you've never seen that little bit of salt?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that's right.
'Cause I'm old. Apparently, salt will kill me.
Oh, God, get all your salt now, kids, for your old.
You have a show coming up?
Produce my own show. It's called Comedy at Koozies, and actually, Will made this for me. Thank you, Will. This is why I have the best friends in the world. Um, okay. See, this is what I mean about the digression.
Yeah.
This is the squirrel brain we're talking about. Like I can't even keep
So,
track.
Natasha, I hear you produce a show. Tell me about it.
Comedy at Koozies. It's a monthly comedy show that I started here in St. Anne de Bellevue at Pub Koozie
On a Saturday night.
on a Saturday night. It's the it's yeah that's it's always the first Saturday of the month. Although this Saturday, well, I mean, at the time of filming, the show is on December 6th, and it's going to be the last one for 2025. The show will resume with season 3 in March of 2026. So stay tuned for that.
Great. Great. Thank you for agreeing to be my first ever podcast guest. Your dentist is going to be mad at you.
No, they love me. I brush my teeth. I got myself an electric. I want, I don't crave validation, but when I go to the dentist, like I want her to tell me that I've done a good job.
There's one test I can pass.
So I can get my dental loot bag.
You get to pick something out of the kid box?
No, they don't have that. Oh my God, I remember those. Those were fun.
Yeah.